Hey folks, thanks for joining me today. So today's tutorial, we're going to be playing with these beautiful metallic watercolors, and I'm going to use a lot of those on this little Easter egg. So I'm painting on whatever I want. I'm just putting color on. It is based black. I painted it black. And I'm just putting these watercolors on. Look how shiny they are. But I did notice one thing, that you really do need to let this dry before you go on to the next step. So I'm just letting you know that ahead of time, and I will remind you as we go throughout this video, because yeah, it some made a little bit of boo-boos. So stick around for those and I'll point them out and learn from my mistakes. That's why I do this. It's for me to make those mistakes so that you don't have to, and hopefully you have a little bit more patience than I do when it comes to painting this cute little Easter egg. Now, I had so much fun doing this, and I want to do so many more, but Easter's over, so I'm going to have to wait until next year. But it is one that I had a lot of fun doing, and I really hope that you give it a try. And you don't have to use metallic watercolors. You could use metallic paints that are acrylic, or see, you can see my boo-boo there where I'm putting the blue on there right now. My fingers stuck to it because you can see some on my finger. Yeah, my fingers stuck to it because I didn't let it dry completely, and you really have to let it dry between each of the steps because it's watercolor, and when you add water, it tends to start to move around again. So learn from my mistakes. Look at that big nasty blob there. I'll fix that later once it's dry. Anyway, so I'm just adding colors. I'm using a lot of different colors that are in that palette that I showed you. I'm just sort of blabbing them on, putting them here and there. And there's another boo-boo. Again, let it dry completely before you start messing around with it. Oh, there's some more. It starts to move. So when you add a little bit more water, because it is a watercolor, it will move again. So here I am attempting to fix it all up with just dabbing on some paint while it's on my little stand. It doesn't work either. So just be patient when you're doing this process. It can be fun. I'm just putting on colors all over the place. I'm not in any particular design or anything like that. I'm just throwing on paint. And here's another boo-boo that I try to fix up. But yeah, just be patient. Don't be like me and be impatient. Let this egg have a good dry before you go back to it and start putting more paint on top of it. It just makes a big mess. But you know what? It's okay, because what I do with this afterwards, like once I get all the watercolor on, it is amazing. It's called, well, I don't know what it's called, but what I call it is reverse painting. So I'm putting on all of this design with no real idea as to where I want things. I'm just blobbing on color, and I'm using a couple of different colors of green. I'm using some teal. I'm throwing in some blue. I'm going to come in with some pink and some purple. And I think I throw in a little bit of red and a dark green as well. So I'm just putting on color right now as a base. And then I come in and use the other colors, and I just make some weird designs all over the place. So like right now, I'm doing some pink swirls, and I do not have a lot of water when I'm doing this part, because I really want the colors to stand out, and I don't want it to pick up the stuff that is already on the egg. So I'm using it and just doing one stroke. If it's not all that pretty, that's okay. I'm not too worried about it. I don't want to go over it a second time. As I'm saying that, I just did. I went over it a second time. But I don't do it often. So, and then I'm coming back in with some purple, and I'm doing a swipe on either side just to give it a little bit of depth. and character and design and whatever you want to do. You don't even have to do swirls. You could do dots, or you can do lines, or you could use your paintbrush to make little squigglies all over it. Totally up to you on what you want to do with the design, just as long as you have the whole egg covered all over the place. You can be as big or as little as you want the design to be. I did some big things, which are these, and then I did some little things. I threw in some, I think it's orange flowers. We'll see that very shortly. Here's the little red dots that I put on, just little circles here and there. And I do apologize that sometimes I do move out of screen, and then I remind myself that, oh, I'm out of frame. I got to put the egg back up. It's because I'm getting really into the painting, and I'm wanting it to get closer to me so that I can see it a little bit better. And then I forget about you guys, and I'm sorry. But I do bring it back into frame, and I show you how I do all of this wonderful stuff. And I'm just looking for areas that might be a little bit empty, because I do want this to be really filled up with all sorts of designs and different colors. So now I'm going in with the orange, and I'm just doing two little swipes to make like a little heart type thing back and forth. And I'm doing this again, no particular reason, just wherever I feel like one of those little orange flowers should be. And I just put them all over the place. It's also a good way to clean up all of those little mistakes that have dried, because now you can go in and go over top, especially with this, because you're not putting a lot of water into the paint. So it's very, very thick. And as you can see, it stays on the brush, and you can get a lot of strokes out of that before you have to reload. So now I'm coming in and I'm doing some stems. I don't really care if they're wide, thin, if they touch each other, if they touch the flower. I'm not fussy about it. I just want a design to be thrown in here and have it all over the place. So it does look like a big mess right now, but it will look really beautiful once we're completed on the next stage. So I'm just going to finish up here and do some more stems here and there. And now I'm going to do a little bit more leaves of a more kind of like a, I don't know what kind of green this would be, like a lime green, I guess. And all of these watercolors that I'm using are all from the same palette. This palette I purchased years ago, believe it or not, at Winners, and they have just about anything. You just have to know what you're looking for. But I have had it for years, and I've used it in a few of my paintings, and this was one of them. So now that it's sat and it's dry, actually this is the next day for me. For you, it's just a few moments later. The magic of editing and YouTube. But now I'm just going to draw on my designs. So I'm going to draw leaves all over the place, and just the basic shape. I'm not looking to be very particular about it, but I definitely want them to be close to each other. And I'm using two different styles of leaves, and you're going to see very soon what we do with those, with the leaves afterwards. So it doesn't really matter if you're making a mess or whatever. It's going to look really pretty afterwards. You can even be particular with where you place these leaves by the designs, if you want those particular designs to be included inside the leaf. And you'll see what I mean in a few moments. So I'm using my general charcoal pencil. It's my go-to. It's easy to wipe off. Now, in this particular instance, like I said, I'm using watercolor, and watercolor moves again once you get it wet. So I had to use an eraser to erase all of the chalk lines that were left, instead of water or damp cloth like I normally use. So just keep that in mind. That's one of the difficulties I have with using watercolors. I don't know if you have the same problem, but it definitely is an issue for me. So now we're going to go in and we're going to outline all of those leaves in black. So this is where the fun really begins, and you really start to see your design come to life. So this is what like I said earlier, reverse painting. So I painted the background or the design, and now I'm going in and I'm going to paint in all the negative space. So all that negative space is everything that is on the outside of each of those leaves, and in between them where they meet or where they come close, that's all going to be negative space. And the negative space in this case is going to be black. So I'm going to take this opportunity while I'm outlining here and say thanks for joining me today. If you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by and checking out my video. And I urge you to definitely check out a lot of my other content that I have. I like to bring new content once a week. I usually post on Fridays. So if you're interested in seeing more new content, make sure to subscribe and ring that little notification bell, because it will definitely let you know as soon as I post something new. And the best way to let me know that you like this video is by giving me the thumbs up. So very quickly again, thumbs up if you like the video. If you haven't already, please subscribe and make sure you ring that little bell. It'll give you notification when I post something new. And trust me, I have so many videos that are in different stages, and I know I tell you guys this all the time, but I do. I have some that are in the process of being filmed, some that are in the process of being edited, and some in the process of being like they're waiting for their resin shots, you know, like they're being resined right now. And then I take pictures of them at the end and I put them at the end of every video. So I have different stages of things. Oh, plus I have my ideas board that is just full of ideas that I really, really want to do. So I have lots of content that I've got to get out to you guys. So make sure you stick around for all of that good stuff. So as you can see, I am painting in all of that negative space in between all of those leaves that I sketched on there. And you do have to be careful because, again, acrylic paint is water-based and it does peel up some of that metallic watercolor. You just have to work a little quickly and it will avoid that. But if it does happen, don't worry about it. Let it dry. You can go back over it with your black paint. And I did do that in a couple of spots on here. And I'm actually going to speed this up. So all of a sudden, I'm all done, all of my negative space. So now I'm going to throw in some details with my black paint and my fine lining brush into each of the leaves. Now, if you're interested in knowing how to make one of these fine lining brushes on your own, I do have a tutorial. It is listed in the description. So you can just go in there and click on it and it'll take you to my video of how to make your own fine lining brush. I also have tutorials in there for how to make your own blending brush, how to resin, as well as all of my videos that I have made every single year. I put into a collaboration and it's called Year in Review, and then the year that those paintings were created. Now they're all just the photos of them, but in the description of those videos are links to every single one of those paintings. So you can reach those that way, or you can just look through my library and check out what I've got. I have all sorts of stuff. I've been on YouTube now for 4 years, and I've been doing this because I love it. I enjoy it so, so much. It keeps me creative, and I get huge joy out of seeing the number of likes for my video and seeing comments. I love comments. to see my subscriptions go up. All of that is just very humbling to me to know that you are sticking around and hanging around and watching my stuff. I have my regulars and I love you. I love everyone that stops by. But definitely show me a little love and hit the subscribe button. And that just helps with my algorithms, and it's free. I post my videos free of charge. Like I said, I do this out of the joy of it, to bring you guys content so that you can try something different and something new. So if there's anything you want me to try, please leave it in the comments below. And I will do some research on it. I will look into it, or maybe it's something I already know how to do, and I can certainly bring you a video of it. So just let me know. I won't know if you don't tell me. So a quick little comment is all you need to do. So I've been putting in some extra details. So the leaves that the veins come out to the ends there, I'm actually rounding those off to make them look a little bit more, I'll say realistic, but they're not realistic, but you know what I mean. Just to give them a little bit more character. And then I'm going to come in with, this is my acrylic paint pen, and it's gold. And I'm going to outline all of these leaves, but leaving just a little tiny sliver of black paint around the leaf. So it has like this extra outline on it. So it matches all of the outlines on the inside. So if your paint starts to get a little bit dry on these paint pens, what I love about them is you just squish it down and then it pops more color out. And this is acrylic paint as well, so it doesn't move or shift once it's dry. And I love outlining some of these things, especially this. It would take me a lot longer to do if I was using a paintbrush. It could be done using a paintbrush, but I wanted to try something different. I thought, since I used my watercolors, I thought, let's bring out the paint pens as well and try these out. So that's what I'm doing now. And then I'll just give you a little tip when you're sealing these. And I usually use DecoArt varnish. Now it's also water-based. So to wipe it on with a paintbrush is just going to smear all of that wonderful metallic watercolor all over your black areas. So what I did was I sponged it on, and that seemed to work a little bit easier. And just again, learn from my mistakes. Using a paintbrush isn't the best when you're using the watercolors. Or what you could do is you could resin it so that the resin is all over the entire thing before you do your design. And then you have a nice, clean, and hard surface to paint on that won't smear when you go to resin it or varnish it or whatever it is that you're going to do, and the design will be fine. So there are a few options, but what I did was I sponged it on with just a little finger dauber that I use for my colors. And because it's water-based, very easy to clean up afterwards. So that's why I enjoyed it. So you can see that I'm outlining these, leaving, like I said, a little bit of the black around the edges of them, because it really makes it sort of stand out from the background. And that's the whole point. So you got to also check, because an egg is like 3D, and you know, you got to check all sides to make sure you've got everything. And here's one that I missed. So I'm just fixing this up. And then now that I've got all those done, oh, there's another one. I'm going to use the same paint pen, and I'm going to start adding some gold dots into all of the places that are still a little bit too much of negative space. So that's what I'm doing right now. Just adding some dots of just pure gold. And that just sort of finishes it all off completely. And it's so pretty. That's basically it. That's all I do. And it was a fun process to do this reverse painting. And I hope you give it a try. I really, really do. Let me know in the comments. Head on over to my Facebook page and maybe you can post a picture there of what you did in this reverse painting. But again, beautiful, beautiful Easter egg. And I know it's a few days after Easter posting this, but I had so much fun doing it. I still had to get this out to you guys because it was a lot of fun. It was very easy once you get going. And as long as you're not too worried about where colors and things like that are, it's going to look amazing. So just look how those leaves are with all of the different colors that are in there and all the different designs and things like that. It's so pretty. So I hope you give it a try. At the end here, you will see another small video of this on a turntable. I have sped it up so that you could see it all the way around. But instead of photos, I thought it was just too beautiful to have still photos. So I included little videos, or just one little video. So I hope you liked it. And let me know in the comments below. Give me the thumbs up. You know, all that good stuff. And let me know if you're going to give this a try. So that's about it, folks. Like I said, I do tidy this up and seal it with some DecoArt varnish, and then it's finished. Just look how beautiful this is. I'm so impressed. Anyways, so there you have it, folks. Life is what you make it, so get creative.